I thought we'd take advantage of the fact we've got these video clips to show you how to tune. And this way you can see what the needle's doing with how far I'm twisting the guitar. So on the audio, on the MP3s and also in the PDF, there is a very concise tuning method on there. But let's just do it visually so that you can see and understand clearer in case you have any difficulties with how I'm doing this. So there's two things to mention. One is if you're using an acoustic guitar, make sure that when you put the tuner on your lap, and that's exactly where I put it by the way, on your lap, make sure it's just touching the guitar slightly. You don't want to have it really pushing so that it's all difficult to hold, but just have it so it touches against the tuner, because the tuners have a built-in microphone and that's going to hear the strings, but it's going to hear it easier and there'll be more of a vibration between the tuner and the guitar if you have it touching. The other thing to mention is if you're on an electric, make sure you're plugging into the input on your tuner. Several people have been twanging away and it doesn't work. There's two sockets on some tuners, not always, but sometimes. There's an input and there's an output. The reason they have those two is that you can tune while you're still in to the amp. That way if you're playing live or a band rehearsal, you don't have to come out of the amp into the tuner, tune up, out of the tuner into the amp. So it's all ready to play when you're doing that. So make sure on the input, the acoustic guys and girls, make sure you're touching the guitar. And you'll notice that on the tuner, on this video clip, there's two letters appearing on the screen. One is in the top right, which I don't need to pay attention to. That's just the key that I've set my tuner in. It's the bottom left that you want to pay attention to. That way you can see that when it goes E, F, F sharp, that it's the bottom left letter that you're paying attention to. Okay, so let's start. We're going to start with the low E, the fat string. So I nickname it the fat E, the fat string. Everyone knows what we're talking about. But technically it's the low E. So let's start with the low E. The E, because it's to the left of the centre point for the needle, centre point being here, I'll just show you, it means that it's flat. So I'll put it back again. So I need to turn it really slowly. If I turn it too fast, like I'm literally twisting it, then it's going to go miles and we won't know where we are. So the best advice I can give you is hold the tuning peg quite tightly and turn slow, so you feel like you're literally squeezing it through. And turn it, assuming it's strong okay to begin with, you want to turn it so that the front turns away from you. And you can hear how slight it's being turned. And you can hear that I'm picking about every 2 seconds. If you keep picking it too much, you can see it gives an inaccurate reading. And if you don't pick enough, the note will just die out. So the E's taken care of. Sometimes it will flicker like that and just disappear to the flat. But as long as generally we're resting on the green or the centre line, however it's indicating on your tuner, it's fine. Let's go to the next string, which is the A. And the A is slightly to the right. So that means I need to pull the front of the peg towards me. And it's a good idea, even though that's in tune, to go past it and then just come back up. That way it's a much more secure, tight string. The next should be a D. If you check back with the book, you've got the rhyme, elephants and donkeys grow big ears. So the next string is the D. And if you look in the bottom left, that says C sharp. And now also if you check into your book, you'll realise that the notes go A, A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D. So that means that not only are we a little bit low for the D, that we're right off and we've gone next door. So if I turn it away from me, you'll see it jump off the side at the right and come back at the left as a D. So that just shows us that we've just gone up to the next level, which is what we need. In fact, let me show you. If I go up even more, you can see the sharp appear at the bottom on the D, so it's a D sharp. So I'll just drop it down again. So the next note should be a G. Well, that's quite good. I might just give it a slight peek in. That's it. The next one should be a B. So that's flat, so I just need to turn that ever so slightly. And the best thing to do is let the note ring while you twist it. Don't pick it, stop it, twist it again, and then have another pick to see where you're going. Just want to turn it as it rings out, that way you can see where it's heading. So the next note, the final note, should be an E, another E, top E. Well, that's really cool. So let's say you get to your guitar and your brother's been messing with it, or the kids have been playing with it, and it's so far out of tune that you don't know if it's really, really low or really, really sharp, or where it is. So here's my advice. Let's say the E is really out and it says something crazy like C sharp. Well, we can hear because we know now that it's flat, but let's assume you didn't know. Make the string really, really, really loose. It's crazy. So that way you know you only have to go up to get the pitch you need. So I'm just going to turn it slowly. You can see it says G, then it says G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D. You can hear I'm just climbing really, really slowly with it. D sharp, E. There it is on the E. But let's say our A, that's out too. It's only on an A sharp, but let's say it's really out. So let's drop him really low. And if you don't know if you've gone low enough, just make sure the string's really slack and floppy. Well, that's clearly low. So can you hear how long it rings out while I turn it? I don't keep picking it too far. Twist it slowly. A sharp, B. Well, we know it's not the right A because it's too low. C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp. Keep going, nice and slow. G. And if you check that chart, the grid reference that shows you that G, G sharp, A. So we know that we're only a couple of spots away. There's G sharp. So if we wanted a G sharp, we're perfectly in tune, but we want to keep going to an A. Here it comes. And it's a good idea when you've tuned to just go back and check that they're all looking good again. So there's the E, A, D,